Have you ever asked, why does my Japanese still feel off? You study for a month by watching 100 YouTube video, memorizing kanji, and buy every textbook, and you speak Japanese to your friend because you feel like, I'm ready to speak Japanese. But your Japanese friends soon switch to the English. So today we will uncover the 5 hidden mistakes that the Japanese learner make and build the simple habitat to fix each mistakes. So first of all, my name is Sasuke. I'm a native Japanese teacher. I coach students in over 20 countries, guide them through every JLPT level, and run an online community obsessed with the languages and the culture. But anyway, the 5 issues I will show you today are exactly what I fix for the learner every single week. Anyway, so 5 common mistakes that the Japanese learner makes are overusing watashi wa, kanji in the isolation, particle blindness, the fluency, the fast trap, and the fear of the mistake. For every stage, we will cover why it's happening, why it's hurt, and a quick repair so you can use each fix literally from today. Alright, so when you say watashi wa Sasuke desu, your name to introduce yourself, that's great. Great job. Perfectly fine. But then start every line with watashi wa, watashi wa, watashi wa. That happens all the time. And Japanese listener already know you are the topic, so repeating watashi wa sounds robotic. Like saying I in every English sentence. It breaks the natural flow and makes conversation feel stiff. So the question is, when can I drop watashi wa? Here are the 4 most common situations where native speakers drop watashi wa and sound perfectly natural. The first situation is follow-up sentence about yourself. So basically, when you are talking about yourself, you can drop watashi wa because you already know introduce the topic and it's about you. So do not say 私はコーヒーが好きです。私は毎朝飲みます。Instead, you can say コーヒーが好きです。毎朝飲みます。Let's talk about the same person, the same topic. No need to repeat the name tag every time. Or the second situation is answering a direct question. When the question itself make it obvious who is answering, you can drop it. So for example, if someone asks you, 週末何をしますか? Do not say 私は友達と映画を見ます。Say 友達と映画を見ます。It sounds more natural. The person asks the question to you and both know the topic is about you, so you can drop watashi wa. So the next situation is the sequences of the action. So you are listing steps you will take one after another. Do not say 私はシャワーを浴びます。それから私は出かけます。It sounds very repetitive. So say this instead. シャワーを浴びて、それから出かけます。So the last situation is status or a diary update. If you write down a diary or something and the reader obviously knows it's about you, you can drop 私は。So do not say 私は今駅に着きました。You can say 今駅に着きました。So the quick question, how to say I drink tea, then I read a book. Answer is 私はお茶を飲んで、それから本を読みます。Do not say 私はお茶を飲んで、それから私は本を読みます。You don't need to repeat 私は twice. Our stage 2. Learning kanji in the isolation. So you blaze through the flashcard. You dedicate your time, your energy to use a flashcard and memorizing 200 solo symbols. When real words appear, like compound kanji, suyobi, Wednesday, or kazan, volcano, you still freeze because long characters do not teach how kanji combine. So reading and listening stay hard. The question is how to study kanji. There are 2 ways you can fix this. The first one is to learn compound word and the phrases, not the single symbol. So do not learn just a mizu. Learn like suyobi, Wednesday, mizu wo nomu, to drink water. So either compound kanji or learn with the phrases. And next step is understanding the radical, and this is super important. So radical is a small building block inside a kanji. It's just a tiny part, but it means something. So for example, the water radical appear in these kanji, and as you can see, it's all about the water. So picture this as 3 blue drops. Every time you can see it, think about the water. I uploaded the video about explaining a radical, so please check it out. And not gonna lie, this video is actually fire. Stage number 3, ignoring the particle. So using a wrong particle is a very common mistake as well. It is really common. So for example, 猫を追いかけた, you chased the cat. 猫が追いかけた, the cat chased someone. It's a completely different meaning, correct? So first of all, what is particle? The particle are sentence road sign. They show who does what, to whom, and where. So using a wrong particle in a certain situation will cause of the big misunderstanding. So please be careful with that. So my advice is to learn particle by using the visualization. So for example, ni is a very common particle. It's used to describe location and time. So imagine the pin. It indicates a specific point in time, a destination or the indirect object receiving the action. So for example, 学校に行きます. I go to the school. A pin is placed on the school, showing it as a destination or location for the action. On the other hand, え is a direction marker. So imagine the arrow. It shows the direction toward the destination, but it's less specific than に. 家へ帰ります. I'm heading home. An arrow shows the movement toward the home, focusing on the direction rather than the end point. So に is more specific point. That's why imagine the pin. And the え is more abstract. So imagine an arrow. I also upload a video explaining 20 particle by using visualization. So please check it out. And not gonna lie, this video is fire as well. So stage 4, the fluency, the first trap. You try to think of the perfect polite sentences. Your mind goes blank. And the other person starts talking to someone else. And you feel like, damn, I miss it again. Waiting for perfection means you rarely speak. So your speaking muscle never train. The progress goes forward one tiny step at a time. One tiny step. So one quick fix is called DMO, daily minimum output. At least one Japanese line daily. And of course, you can make a mistake. Any mistake, error will come. So just try to speak some Japanese. You can speak by yourself as well. You feel awkward at first, but it will help you improve your Japanese, like dramatically. And you can do it when you are cooking, cleaning, or taking shit. And the one key point is do not be afraid of the making mistakes. Who cares? Who cares if you make a mistake, right? You just started learning Japanese, so please do not be afraid of making any mistake. And the last stage is the fear of the mistake. Your hand raised halfway in the class, then drop because you fear making an error. Your brain thinks the Japanese as unsafe. And to be honest with you guys, it's okay to make a mistake. The real mistake is not trying. So when I studied English, I made a lot of mistakes. To be honest, I'm still making them. I'm still making a mistake. And my friends sometimes make fun of me or make fun of it. But every time, that gives me the energy and the motivation to study. I know learning another language is so hard. So do not expect you will be fluent in a couple years. Learning languages is a marathon, not a sprinting. Anyways, quick recap, 5 important things. Drop the extra 私は Learn kanji through the word or the radical. Learn particle by using a visualization. Speak Japanese daily, even if you make a mistake. Who cares? And do not afraid of making a mistake. Anyway, I am so glad that you are interested in learning Japanese. So please let me help you. That's my passion. I love helping others. I like teaching Japanese to anyone, right? If you like this video, please like it and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.